make sure that it's working. Oh, looks like it. Yes, great. Awesome. Fantastic. Beautiful. Wonderful. Great. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. How are you all? You might hear a little bit of Baby Shark in the background. It's because our daughter is obsessed with that toy that just constantly plays Baby Shark. So she's starting to figure out, at first, we were like, it's fine because she can't get it to play on her own. So it's whatever, right? She's starting to figure, she still like asks us to play it, but she's also starting to figure out she can sit on it and make it play. So we're like, cool. Cool. I also didn't tweet. Let me do that really fast. Oh, good. Twitter's like, I logged you out for safety, like you asked me to. I can't even be mad. It is what I ask it to do. Okay. Bam. When are we getting a shark emote? Never. Somebody's got to have one, right? One has got to exist out there somewhere. Okay. We are live. I don't know what to say besides we are live. We are live. Bonanza has one. That thing's gonna get lost next week into the trash. No, I'm kidding. No, it does have quality of life parent things. It plays the whole song, which is amazing, but if you click it again, it stops. So, and it's not that big. It would be easy to hide, you know, but sure. Whatever. I tweeted. It's fine. This is the beginning of a new community challenge week. Bam. We're calling this Community Book Week. And people were kind of asking about the specifics of it last night, and I thought about it a bit more. And I think that the focus should be on something that you've been meaning to read, but haven't taken the time to, right? So a lot of people were like, I read fanfic all the time. Does that count? Or I'm studying for finals. Does that count? I think that the focus should more be on, because it's a challenge, I think it should more be on what's something that you've been meaning to read, but you keep putting it off. What's something you've wanted to finish, but you haven't finished it, right? Something that you've kind of put on the back burner, but you still think about it and you would like to read it. We'll focus on that. So we're not going to say you have to read a chapter. We're not going to say you have to read a certain amount. It's just take the time to read it once a day, and that's it. I literally fell asleep to your cooking stream only to wake up to this stream. Do you guys want to see the food? So we did a stream from my kitchen last night where we chopped up fruit and stuff for the dehydrator. And I have all of it right here if you'd like to see it. And as always, the VOD is available on the channel for freezy. It's all going to be going up on YouTube as well. But so these are the pineapple chips. And I honestly, we tried them. I handed one to Sam, and I tried one as well at around 6 hours. And it was dry, but it was still just a little bit soft. And I really liked that. These are definitely more like chips. They're very crisp. Right? Definitely have the flavor in there. Next time I need to be more careful, because some of the pieces still have the Barbie bits, that are just a part of the pineapple experience. If I can make sure those aren't on there, it's not very fun to eat those. Barb, pokey outside bits. Okay. So that's the pineapple one. Flavor's great. Texture is like still a little bit chewy just because of the nature of pineapple. But they crisped up really nice, and it took about 12 hours. And then the apples. Look how much we got out of that. Yo. Fuji apples are the way to go. Here's the thing, is that making apple chips is really nice when like apples are on sale or you can get a bunch of apples at a time, right? Fuji apples tend to be more expensive than like Red Delicious or Granny Smith. The Granny Smith ones turned out fine, but I gotta be honest, in comparison to how the Fuji apples taste, it's not even a contest. Like, they still taste fine. They're good. These are the Fuji. It was really hard for me to not just sit there and eat them. Yeah, they're great. They're all great. But the Fuji, in the interest of seeing like which apples do best with dehydrating, Fuji tastes incredible dehydrated. The texture of the Fuji is different. Do you remember last night when I was trying to mandolin the Fuji ones? They kept like falling apart kind of. So the Fuji have a different texture. They're like a little softer, and the flavor is just better. Like they're more like naturally sweet tasting. Yeah, they're great. Fuji's really good. But all of them are fine. So next things that we want to try are tomato powder, right? I have a bunch of tomatoes in my house. I don't know if I'm going to use them all up before, like, they're not going to be very good in, like, a sandwich or something. So that's the perfect time. Like, we'll just see how many of the tomatoes we wind up using before they start being like, and then can toss them in there. And I want to try making the yogurt drops for Clark. So those are my next two, like, dehydrator projects. Should dip those in melted chocolate. The apple chips? Probably be pretty good. Tomato powder, isn't that like dehydrated ketchup? Ketchup has a lot of sugar in it, my dude. Tomato powder is literally you like completely dry out tomatoes in a dehydrator and then you grind it up into a powder. And you use it as like a flavoring seasoning, which is nuts. Spaghetti powder. Yeah, I've seen some people make their own ketchup in like depending on where you live. People have just crazy crops of tomatoes, right? And they just don't know what to do with all of them. It's kind of like at my house in Oregon, if my parents grow zucchini, there's too much zucchini to use. Like they literally can't figure out what to do with all this zucchini, right? So sometimes people have that problem with tomatoes. Like they try to give away as much as they can. They try to use as much as they can. And they're just like, I don't know what to do with the rest of these. So they wind up doing things like making ketchup in a slow cooker and dehydrating a bunch of tomatoes to use as tomato powder. Just all kinds of shit. I watched a video. Holy shit. I watched a video of this little Italian grandma making fuckloads of pasta sauce. Amazing. There was so much. It was like 2 huge tubs. And she started off with just hundreds of tomatoes. It's insane. I was just like, oh my God. So yeah, if you're like big into canning, my mom canned all the time. All the time. My mom loved canning and her canned tomato sauce was great. But I never I never got to help out as much with canning as I would have liked. I'm not as knowledgeable on canning as my mom is. So I would have to ask her like a bunch of questions and stuff and do some research if I wanted to get into canning. But dehydrating, if you have a dehydrator, it's so easy to just try things. You literally just throw them in there and you're like, it's a fruit. Set it to 135. Walk away. So yeah, everybody seemed to like the stream yesterday. It was very fun for me. Somebody referred to it as like a more active Saturday morning Duger, which I can totally see because it was literally just me constantly like telling stories and talking about shit, but occasionally being like, oh yeah, we're chopping stuff, right? Like, so it was fun, yeah. There was a stream last night. So the VOD is available if you would like to watch it. If you would like to watch us like prepping all of this. Specifically, the pineapple was apparently some very good chopping ASMR. So I didn't know you did morning streams for EU. I don't think I've ever seen one of those. Do you mean the stream last night? It's nighttime for me. Yeah. I try to choose my stream times when like the most crossover of people can see it, but it's difficult. It's really hard. So originally I was just streaming Pacific time, California time. I was just streaming Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday mornings for me. And then Tuesdays are like kind of a shit show because it's the podcast and Final Fantasy 14 with Tiri and then Manga Pod and like all of that shit. So that's like my show day, right? But then I started incorporating Thursday night and Sunday night streams. So I actually stream almost every day now. I have it set up where I do stream every day. I normally wind up canceling like one maybe, but the evening streams have been nice because so many people that can't normally watch can make it to those. The baby's asleep. There isn't like a time constraint. It's really just like I stream until I need to go to bed. Or like last night, we did everything that we needed to do in the kitchen. And I needed to get my regalia in Final Fantasy 14, which I did, by the way. I needed to go on to Final Fantasy 14 and grind some MGP. So, we wrapped up at like 10 something. But would you say you used to be more of a console gamer, but because of work and you play games mostly on PC now? I would say that I started playing games on PC more because you remember that originally none of my content was Let's Plays. None of my content was playing games at all. It was talking about the games industry, talking about releases. What the fuck is that? I made a news show. Like, that was what I did. And then I started hosting another news show, right, for the game station, Polaris, whatever, and being in, like, their skits and stuff. Like, I didn't do, like, Let's Play content for a while. And yeah, that whole time I definitely did way more console gaming because I didn't have a PC that was meant to game on, really. I edited on it, but I didn't really play games on it. And it wasn't until I had a lot of friends that were like, you should really play this game. It's on Steam. And I didn't use Steam very often, really. Like, the more that people would say, oh, you should really play this Steam game, right? I started just being like, all right, fuck it. And like every game's on Steam now. So, but it really does make it easier if you're going to be streaming video games. It makes it easier to just have all of it on the PC if possible. It is way less of a headache, but The Wario ASMR. Yeah, we made all kinds of weird shit, man. Before we get too far, let's read off everything that happened during pre-show. Thank you guys so much. Ampsand, thank you for the 51 months. Fetch me a cane, a lawn, and kids to chase off. Pashlin, thank you for the 6. Boob Zone for the 9. Happy Twitch baby. Zeus's Beard, thank you for the 10. Almost a year. Been lurking most of the time. I doubt you'll recognize my name, but hey, you're amazing. Keep up the good shit. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day. Lurk all you want. Love having you. Name of A, thank you for the 20 months. Perpetual ownage for the 11. Riso, thank you for the 13. Angie gifted another sub to Kamala Kate. Kamala Kate, welcome to the Cat Gang. Thank you, Angie, for gifting another sub. Winter Blizz, thank you for the 39. Mezbar for the 3. Metal Falcon for the 8. Gypsy Rose, thank you for the 29. J Mello for the 2. Glork TV for the 47. Overjoyed, thank you so much for the 54. EDZ, thank you for the 13. Questing 0 for the 4. Time Sorcerer for the 8. I'm getting into the My Time at Portia endgame. Things are getting wild. Also, Arcade Spirits is amazing and very cute. Agreed. How long did it take you to get to endgame of My Time at Portia? I'm very interested. Ospite, thank you so much for the 5 months. Takami Cost for the 50. Cyberbun for the biddies. Thank you. Dusty Scabbard, thank you for the 7. Or Ziggo for the 7 as well. Nicodemus for the 2 years. Geo Bahamut for the 2 years. Both of you, welcome to your 2nd year with us. Thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. Frankie Wujek, thank you for the 40. HK Harpster for the 32. Venna, thank you for the 16. Boulder Opal for the 5. Auxiliary Power for the 5 as well. Crystal Jabaden for the 26. Razor Dragon for the 55, and Jinkar for the 8. Thank you guys. I appreciate all the support this morning. Would you recommend Final Fantasy XIV? Yes, it's my favorite MMO. I love it. Keep in mind, I'm not a big MMO player. I don't really get attached to them. I got really attached to Final Fantasy XIV really quick. I really love that you have one character that can be every class. I love the way that it looks. I think that the game, like the story, is just really good. A lot of people think that the story is really slow in just Realm Reborn. Like before the expansion packs hit, that the expansions are like way better storytelling. But overall, like the world building and the story is really good. And they like it is a subscription based game, but they add patches all the time. They do seasonal events, like all kinds of stuff. It's very, very fun. So, yes, I definitely recommend it. I love playing it. Will the time slot for MangaPod be changed when you're in Britain? That's a great question. I don't know. What time will it be? Okay, so it starts at 7:30 here. And then it's, what, an 8-hour difference? 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11:30, 12:30, 1, 2, 3. It'll be 3 a.m.? Yikes. I don't know. I guess we'd have to figure that out, wouldn't we? Oh my goodness. Someone anonymously gifted a bunch of subs. Thank you to whoever did that. All of you were gifted a delightful sub. Succulent succubus success. What does that mean? Did I just summon a demon? Clitosaurus Rex. Fuck, I'm so glad somebody made me read that. That's really funny. What a good name. Shit. Oh, fuck. Yeah, I'm excited for Gunbreaker. Gunbreaker looks really fun to me. I'm a white mage main, so I'm excited that they're changing some stuff up. I wish, you know, it's fine. I don't know why we needed another cat race, number one. I don't know why they were like, all right, here's the cute anime cats, and here's the fucking hardcore furry cats. I was like, okay. Like, I love them. They're fine. I just don't know why we needed both. Octo was saying he wished that they had incorporated kind of the more like beastly races earlier on, which I agree with. But yeah, Hrothgar are basically like big Bara lion boys. And they're gender locked. And then Vera are like hot, tall, step on me bunny girls. And they are also gender locked. And I guess they were saying that they don't plan on adding any more races. So I'm like, okay, assuming that this game has some longevity, right? And it's going to stick around for a while longer, and you don't want to add any more races, can we at least add boy bunnies eventually? And like buff Bara furry ladies, please. Just like, please, that would be great. I was hyped for snake ladies, but we got cats. I mean, they've never, as far as I know, they've never taken a beast tribe and said, just kidding, they're not a beast tribe anymore. Now you can play as them. I don't think that that's happened before. Yes, you can race change in 14. They like swapped up the servers a little bit. So I think that everybody gets a free server change. I don't know if that's already live. Somebody in chat will know. The free server change is over. Oh! Yeah, everybody keeps being like, so, is Jisuya going to attain his final cat form and race change to Hrothgar? I can't do it. Although, a Hrothgar just walking around in leopard print undies would also be amazing. I don't have gender preferences when I make characters. I have body type preferences. For sure. For sure. Anybody who's watched me for a while would probably be like squinting at the screen going, another buff character? Another super ripped character? But here's the thing. Jisuya is not like that at all. Because I didn't think I was going to play the game so long. That's what's funny about it, is Jisuya. I'm so attached to Jisuya, and he's nothing like how I normally make my characters. Normally I'm like, okay, whatever character I can make that is tall and ripped as fuck, that's who I'm playing, right? And when we started playing Final Fantasy 14, when Sam was like, oh, do you want to play 14 with me? Like, an expansion's about to come out. It's apparently really good. And I was like, oh, okay, I don't really like MMOs, but sure. Sam was like, there's cat people. So I made the shortest possible cat boy that I could and made it a goof that he never wears clothes. And so he's just like this tiny little cat boy who's in every cutscene just like, hello, I'm naked. I love it. Yeah, that's people always like think that that's really funny. I always play like really masculine, like ripped characters. Sam will always play like cute, effeminate badasses, right? So Sam definitely wants to be a Vera. I'm almost positive. You play each other? Oh, I appreciate that. That you took that description and thought, that sounds like Dodger. Why, thank you. Is Merlwyb best girl or what? Yeah, I mean, there's a reason that I chose that grand company. Because I was like, well, one of them I would die for, and the other two I don't give a fuck about. So in the game, they have you choose a grand company. So there's like, it's basically like a huge like in-game guild that you can be part of, and you can like rise in ranks and stuff and get things out of it. But one of them is basically pirates. And the like lady who runs Limsa and runs that grand company is just fucking so cool. I was like, yes, you. Yes, you. I want that. But Nanamo. I love Nanamo. I think she's adorable. And that's it. I think she's great as a character. I love her in the story. I love when she shows up. She's awesome. I don't want to follow her into battle like I do Merlip. Yeah, it's the start of a new challenge week. So we're specifying that the focus is on something that you've wanted to read for a while but haven't been able to. If it's easier for you to have it be an audiobook, I think that that's fine. I listen to audiobooks and like podcasts and stuff fairly frequently, so it doesn't count for me in my mind. I want my challenge to focus on like sitting down in the quiet and actually reading. But I think audiobooks can totally count because again, just like with the no soda challenge, right? It was however you want to adjust it so that it's like good and beneficial for you and is still, you know, something nice to do for yourself. Great. I don't care. I don't care. If you want to participate and you can figure out a way that it's like a positive participation for you, sick. I'm not about to put a bunch of like structured rules on it. So and 0 people care about Kani Senna. Kani Senna? I don't remember how you say her name. I love her hair. Does that count? I love her hair. Every time she shows up, I'm like, how the fuck do you do your hair? That's like my big focus, really. Does getting caught up with One Piece count? Is reading One Piece something you've really wanted to do, but you keep putting it off? Then yeah. Totally. I love that she's best friends with Merlip. Is that canon? Because amazing, if that's true. Yeah, we need to do our singing stream. Maybe this Saturday? What's going on this Saturday? I don't think anything. I need to burp. It's not really happening. I have tons of things I need to read this week. You have to sing with Cry at one point. No spoilies, but Cry and I have already been talking about it. Kendra, thank you. What a good pitch. Starting books is easier than finishing them. I don't think either are very easy. I have to be... I don't know. Books are difficult for me. I love when I've finished a book and I can look back on it and be like, wow, that was a great book. Like, I have so many really good book memories, you know? There are books that really, really stuck with me that I've really, really loved. But to get to the point where I'm like in and I'm gonna finish it is rare, very rare for me. I've read a lot of plays. I have no problem reading plays. which was very beneficial when I was in college and I was in the theater program and I had to take playwriting and play reading and all of that shit. I can blast through those. If there was like a manga reading class, fuck, sign me up, bud. I can read that shit all day. Novels really stick with me and have a huge impact on me, but I have so much trouble reading them and I don't know why. My favorite book, my favorite play is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead. But favorite book, I don't know what I would say my favorite book is. When I was, so my first book that had an unreliable narrator, or like a part that was purposefully sort of misleading, was The Phantom of the Opera. The Phantom of the Opera novel is fantastic. Like, it's really, really good. And at the end, there were a bunch of like kind of fake articles and things. And my mind was like blown because I was like talking with my mom, like, holy shit, like some of this stuff actually happened, right? And my mom was like, no, honey, it's like part of the experience of the book. Like they're like giving you a glimpse of like in the world what like news articles and news clippings about this event would have been like. And I was like, what the fuck? It like blew my mind. I'm trying to remember how old I was, but that was like one of the first times that happened for me, where I had read a book and I was like, whoa, I didn't realize this was based off of true events, right? I was pretty young, but I was still just like, whoa. I read Misery when I was really young and loved it. Not really young. Like, my mom knew I was reading it, and I think that if she thought I was too young to read it, she would have been like, no. But I think I was like middle school reading Misery. I read Dracula in middle school. I loved Dracula. I thought Dracula was awesome. I can't remember why. We had all kinds of projects in school that were like, choose a book and just do a thing on it, right? Like, write about what the book was like. And so it was just easy for me, as a person who didn't read a ton of books, it was easy for me to be like, I don't know, what's a book that's like, what's a book that I know? Dracula's a book, right? I'll read Dracula. I fucking loved Dracula. How did the fruit go? It went great, yeah. I was showing it off a minute ago. Not a minute ago, but like at the beginning of the stream. But these are the pineapple chips. They've got good crunch. To me, they're almost like a little too firm. We tried them at like 6 hours, and they were still pretty like squishy, but they were dry. And that was like a nicer, I think, consistency to eat. But these will keep longer this way, so it's fine, and they're still delicious. And then these are the apple chips. We got a bunch out of them. We did Granny Smith and Fuji, and the Fuji are amazing, texture-wise and taste-wise, are like so good. So Fuji is like gonna be my go-to. If Fuji are ever on sale, I'm gonna be like, fucking buy 10 Fuji apples. I have a dehydrator. My mom got me a dehydrator, and I used it for a while, and then I stopped using it for whatever reason. And I've been trying to waste less food, basically. I've been trying to just be less wasteful in general, and like stop buying things that I don't need, use what I have around the house, etc. Like the normal shit, right? And one of the things that I kept thinking about was, God, we wind up all the time with like produce specifically that we don't use all of. And so I was thinking to myself, fuck, I have my dehydrator. I should just start experimenting with the dehydrator on like what things taste like when we dehydrate them. And things that I had done before were like apple chips and like pumpkin seeds, stuff like that. So I'm kind of like revisiting the things that I know. Dehydrating fruit is really straightforward. Before I start taking the dive into like, I was talking about tomato powder, literally like drying tomatoes and then grinding them up and keeping it as a seasoning, like a tomato seasoning. Like there's just weird shit you can do. So I want to start experimenting because I'm already like learning stuff, and all I've done is like apples and pineapple and shit. So and banana. Yeah, we've done a lot of banana, but obviously Clark is too small to eat the banana. When it's dehydrated, the texture is like too tough. And Sam gags on banana. So literally I make the banana chips and they're just for me. So I would rather be making things that both Sam and I can enjoy. Yeah, that's what I was talking about yesterday, actually, was that you find all of the really interesting recipes for dehydrating when you look into like the backpacking and hiking communities. People who do like long-term hikes where they're going to be out for a while and they need food. They figure out how to dehydrate all kinds of shit. And it's fascinating. Like the one that really weirds me out, I don't know why. The one that really weirds me out is people will make rice. So they'll fully cook rice. And then they'll dehydrate it. And it's basically instant rice at that point. It's so weird to me. I was like, what? So you just like have rice quicker, I guess. I don't know. It's so weird to me. I don't know. It is. Yeah, it's an Omo Cat sweatshirt. Wah. I have a couple, and I actually donated one of them that I just never ever wear, but I really like this one. We donated a ton of clothes the other day, like a shit ton. And it's been really weird. Every time I like open up my shirt drawer, I'm like, oh right, I only have a few shirts now, which is kind of awesome, you know, to just like sort of start from scratch. I basically just went through and was like, what are the shirts that I love wearing all the time? Like the shirts that when I see them, I'm like, yeah, I want to wear that. Like I would love it if every time I opened my drawer, the only shirts that were in there were my I love this shirt sort of situations, you know? So I kept all of those. And then obviously shirts that I have like a sentimental attachment to somehow. I was like, well, I can turn it into a pillow or something. So I kept a couple, but like not in the drawer. Whether or not I'll actually do anything with them, I don't know. But yeah. Does this shirt spark joy? Exactly. Which of my shirts spark joy? Look, I'm a sucker for a good shirt, man. I see shirts all the time. And again, I'm trying not to like, especially as we're trying to save money and stuff, I'm trying not to like buy things I don't need, right? I see shirts all the time where I'm like, that's such a fucking good shirt. That's such a good shirt. God damn it. Wasn't my cup white? No. I love this mug. This is my newest mug, I think, of like mugs that I've bought for myself. Target. If anybody else has a terrible potty mouth and just wants their mug to say it. What shirts did you keep? I kept really good quality shirts like this one. You ready? Hold on, it's gonna be worth it. Yeah. fucking love this shirt. I love this shirt. It makes me so happy. Clark, I tweeted this, but it was hilarious. I picked up Clark this morning, and she, like, slammed her finger into my chest and went, cat! I was like, you said that so confidently, like, that's a fucking cat on your shirt. And I was like, it is now, yeah. Naruto is a cat. Spread the word. He does have whiskers. It's true. Yeah, I should have been like, QB. She's like, she doesn't even understand what foxes are yet. I'm like, QB. It's hard, like the balance between how do I celebrate that you're recognizing similarities in things while also encouraging you to know what it actually is, right? So like foxes to her just look like cats. So all of the foxes are cats. And I want to be like, nice, you recognized some of the traits of a cat in this fox. However, it's a fox. Yeah, for Kaylee, it was frog. Frog was the one that sounded like fuck. And it was so funny. There's a really good video. Kaylee is Happily Aaron's daughter. There was a really good video that Aaron took where she was like, hey, Kaylee, can you say frog? And she just looks right at the camera and goes, fuck. It's so funny. It's so good. Oh, shit. So, yeah. If there's any house where I expect a baby to recognize a fox, it's probably yours. Did I tell you guys about my friends that I sent all of the baby clothes to? And the fox thing? So oh, baby girl. She's so sad. What time is it? Oh, it's almost 10. I can distract her. I can distract her for the next couple of minutes until she needs to go to bed. What? Okay, hold on. Hi. Big smiles. Do you want me to distract her for a few minutes until nap time? Or are you too secret? Mickey? Was here. Never mind, she's going up. Okay, but so the story is I have my friends Curtis and Margaret, and they are having a baby in like a couple of weeks. At least that's their due time. And I had said, I have a ton of clothes that are like more unisex. If you guys are down for me to just like send them to you, if you guys need clothes. And they were like, yeah, absolutely. We would definitely take them. So I packed up like a bunch of my maternity clothes for Margaret and a bunch of like Clark's more unisex stuff, which is most of her clothing, if we're being honest, that she had grown out of, and threw it all in there. And it was like, it was a ton of clothes. So I like sent it off and they were like, holy shit, there's so much clothing in here. But Curtis was like, this is so weird. I had a really vivid dream the night before this stuff showed up that we had decided that we were going to get our kid tons of Fox stuff. And he said, and then your packages showed up and there's so much fucking Fox stuff in them. And yeah, I was like, it was meant to be. He was like, I know. So weird. $500 shipping. It cost like 30 something to ship it all. It was two big like diaper boxes like this. So it was two of those, and they, in order to keep the cost down, stacked them on top of each other and just like taped them together basically, which was crazy. I was like, I have these two boxes to ship, and she goes, are they going to the same person? And I said, yeah. And she was like, we'll just treat them like one box. That'll make it a lot cheaper. I was like, okay. But yeah, it was so funny. He was like, oh man, it's so weird. I had this dream about my kid like using a bunch of Fox stuff. My sister and brother are both expecting babies. They're due the same month. I went to tell my sis my brother's girlfriend was preggo, and she was like, speaking of, yo, you want to hear something that's weird? Our little nephew, Tommy, so the day, because of time differences, right? You have to remember, England is 8 hours ahead. So when Clark was born, it was technically Tommy's birthday. So because she was born in America, her birthday is the day before Tommy's birthday. But technically, because of the time difference, she was born on the same day as Tommy. Super weird. So like Clark was born, and I had an opportunity to like look at my phone, and there was all kinds of like happy birthday Tommy stuff, and I was like, oh fuck, right, it's Tommy's birthday. So yeah, I went to school with two twin girls a couple of years ago. They gave birth within a month of each other. There was the place where, so our OBGYN. Hi, my love.
Hi. Did you destroy my pizza?
What? Oh, fuck, I didn't put it back in. I literally just took it out, though. It's fine. You can put it back in and it'll be fine.
I don't believe
You should believe me. I'm sorry. It fell out and attacked me, to be fair. Your pizza attacked me first.
He was just startled by you.
Did you put it back in there or no?
Yes.
I don't know if I believe you. Pizza violence in this house. I don't remember what we were talking about, but that's okay. Oh, right. Oh my God. Right. Yes. Thank you. So our OBGYN for when we were pregnant, there were pictures that we would see occasionally in there of triplets with newborns. So it was like three identical sisters who all had their own baby that was around the same age. And we were like, what's because Sam and I, so keep in mind, we had been going to this place for months, right? Because it was where we routinely went in for baby checkups. So we would go in there and look at these pictures, and Sam and I would debate back and forth whether or not it was Photoshop, right? If some, like, say me, right? If I had my baby and was like doing a bunch of different poses and then was like, cool, now like copy paste me. Like copy paste me a couple of times. And so finally, when I think we were like 8 months pregnant or something, and we had been in there so many times, the like nurse that worked there that we got on with really, really well. Sam was like, I need you to help me. She was like, what do you mean? And he goes, are these 3 different people all with their own newborns? And the nurse goes, yeah. And we were like, no. She was like, yeah. They like they were like, they're identical triplets. And they decided that they were all going to try to get pregnant at the exact same time. They like planned it and they all got pregnant at the same time. And we were like, how? It's insane. That is crazy that worked out. Yeah. Just for the right? I was like, why? I guess so that your kids can like literally grow up together, but like, I don't know. It's a lot. That's a lot. Maybe it's the selfish part of my brain, but if I had 2 sisters that I was super close with and I like was going to have a kid, I would really hope that they weren't dealing with their own kids so that they could help me out a little bit. Maybe it's because we live so far away from family. So but Sam and I are both just constantly like, man, I wish my mom was nearby. I wish my mom could just pop over and like take the baby for a minute. That would be so great. Just push the baby onto the grandmother. I mean, it takes a village, etc., etc. You know, there's no denying that having family around to help makes such a huge difference. Like, such a huge difference. Sam and I feel so different when there's somebody around to help. And when we know people who like complain, it's so like everybody's situation is different, etc., right? But when people are like, God, my mom just like wants to hang out with my kid all the time, it's so hard for me to not be like, you don't know how good you have it. Like, there's balance on both sides, but like part of me is like, God, I wish. Yeah, I mean, like, I think that's another. We were talking about that before, right? The idea that it's a much more modern idea that kids should just like get out of the house and learn to fly at 18. Like that's like not how it works in a lot of the world still. It's kind of like a strange idea that cropped up more recently than we realize. And I think that it's kind of along the same line as that idea of like, as the mother and father, we should be able to do everything ourselves and not have to ask for help. And there's a part of me that 100% believes that, even though like Sam and I reach breaking points where we're just like, God, like I just wish like, when did I take a shower last? I don't know. Right? Like we both reach points where we're like, if we just had one person, like just one family member around, it would be so much better. But like, why couldn't it be, if family around was around in general? It would be amazing, right? But yeah, it's interesting. That sort of stuff is interesting, like how those ideas permeate, right? Because it didn't always used to be like that. Or it was like, no, the nuclear family should be contained and they can take care of their own business and they're good, they're fine. Yeah. Yeah, it's rough. That's one of the things that we're really excited for with the idea of moving is Sam comes from such a big family. Like there's so many of them. Be amazing. Hi, Play in the Mud. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, Play in the Mud is a lovely streamer. Um, they do all kinds of like throwing and glazing and all that. Um, so you should definitely check them out. They're great. So many relatives to use and take advantage of. You act like I won't also be taken advantage of. Everybody else also has kids. They're going to be like, all right, cool. Yeah, I'll take Clark, but that means that you have to take all of my kids sometime. And I'll be like, okay, that's fair. That's how it is. Yeah, play dates. Play dates. I'm going to have to come up with all kinds of great art projects. Honestly, I'm kind of excited about that because Tommy is very into like Play-Doh and painting and all kinds of stuff like that. Tommy's like super, super into artsy, crafty stuff. So I'm like, yes, Tommy, I can come up with projects for you to do. I can do this. Your Pinterest board gonna be popping. Whenever I go on Pinterest, I basically just use Pinterest for like recipes, right? Whenever I go on Pinterest, you get little pop-ups on Pinterest that are like, so and so has reposted your pin or whatever. It's always like a board that I made fucking forever ago with cool hairstyles on it. That's all it ever is. It's only ever somebody who's like, wow, this is a cool hairstyle, repost. And then Pinterest is like, you've got really good taste in hairstyles. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, 6 years ago, I guess I did.
Welcome, you fine
Oh, God.
cat-loving,
My back and neck
coffee-drinking
are a
bunny
mess.
babe.
All right, guys, what are we going to do today? What's the plan? How are you guys feeling? What do you want to do? Has anything cool come out? I was trying to read a book on stream. When does that Raccoon Detective game come out? Not for a while, I don't think. I think that was like a pretty early demo, I think. Let's see. What do we got on here? Pathologic 2. Pathologic looks really interesting to me, but I don't do well with like super scary games, and I can't tell from looking at it if it's an actual super scary game or if it's just like an atmospherically unsettling game. Oh yeah, people keep bringing up Observation. What is that? Okay, it's not on Steam. Where is it? It's not scary. It's just weird. Great. It's on Epic. Oh. So many things on Epic recently. How odd. I never in my life thought I would use the Epic store as often as I have been. Welcome back, Dexbonus. Thank you, Epic Games. How do I look for a game? Store. Observation. Here it is. Mature content. I mean, naturally. Epilepsy warning. Okay. Good to know. Sci-fi thriller uncovering what happened to Dr. Emma Fisher and the crew of her mission through the lens of the station's artificial intelligence, Sam. You assume the role of Sam by operating the station's control systems, cameras, and tools to assist Emma in discovering what is happening to the station, the vanished crew, and Sam himself. So I'm studying video logs, it looks like. Oh, I see. Interesting. This looks interesting. Enter a creator tag? What the fuck is that? Oh, I see. So if I was watching a stream or something and somebody had a creator tag, I could put it in there and they'd be like, sick, you found out about this game from Ninja. Cool. Install. To the E drive. Yes. Thank you. Great. Okay, we're installing it. We'll update the warnings list then. Oh, they put it over here. Great. Potential game warnings. I can't tell. The only warning that it has on here is the epilepsy warning. I don't know if it's... Has anybody played this game? Is there anything else that I should put on like a warning list? Oh, blood, mild violence, strong language. Okay. Great. Save. Okay. Okay, and I'll put that in the title as well. Great. Cool. New interesting game to try out. We're at 50%. Motion sickness? Oh. Do you guys remember when I was pregnant and I was like getting really motion sick sometimes? That was really odd for me. 'Cause I've never had a motion sickness problem before. Okay. So I'm like playing these fucking games. I'm just like, why do I feel sick? And realizing like, oh, this is motion sickness. That's so weird. Oh no, we're dropping frames. Come back. Come back. Okay, we're back in the green. Stay there. Stay there, sweetheart. It might have been because we were installing. I got into a PhD program in Germany. I'm hype. Yo, congratulations. Can I get some Doog yays and Doog woos for Desert Urbania in chat? Congrats. Yeah, it's in the green again, so I think it's fine. I think it was probably just because we were installing and it hit like a shaky point. It's the weirdest thing. I never had motion sickness with games until recently. So yeah, I got a little motion sick with some games when I was pregnant. And very recently, like in the last, I want to say like 2-3 years, I've had issues with planes. I get really sick on planes sometimes, which is so odd to me, and I don't know what causes it. And I don't know, it feels like my like equilibrium gets all messed up and I feel like nauseated instantly. And it always goes away. It's always like a wave, right? But it's not fun. Observation is really good. I'm delighted. I'm excited to try it. There have been a couple of people who every single stream have been like, you should really try out Observation. So I'm delighted to finally like make them happy and do the dang thing. Let's open up our volume mixer and stuff though, because I don't know how loud this is going to be. I'm going to mute desktop audio. And launch the game. Let's see how loud this is. Oh my God.